Okay, remember they're changing my voice. I don't respect other people who try to explain these things. I know for sure God commands them to stop. See, when you make it harder for me to explain, so you try to make your churches look good and you're not even obeying God through me, what do you think God would say? Okay, it's like the part in the Bible that says, why don't you judge for yourselves what is right? Is it right to cheat me out of my right to lead? No. Is it right to say, hey, look how well I can articulate myself, why God's son is sabotage? No. And that's part of the end of the world, okay? That these people don't have the heart. And like it says in Amos, they turn righteousness and justice into bitterness, and they cast it out of their sight. They cast it to the ground, so to speak, right? They're trying to put themselves above the righteous. And that's what leads up to the trumpet, where there's a star all ablaze on rivers and springs of water. Wormwood, okay? It's thrown into this rivers and springs of water, right? And a third of the waters turn bitter. Many people die. You have the bowls on the rivers and springs of water, and they turn to blood. Okay, so we look at the third trumpet, the third bowl, etc. Now, again, you know, these people are some kind of immature betas, some kind of immature craftsmen, scientists, teachers. They're various types of people that don't have respect for the martial art order, and they have Western culture is the recurring theme. In regards to what culture it is, it should be called out. I'm sure we can all agree on it. Now, it's Neo-Roman culture. Communism and capitalism are the fruit of it. They sprung up from it. You know, modern capitalism, crony capitalism, whatever you want to call it. And that's part of it too, that injustice. And then they insist that women date with their scale. That's why, 666 talents of gold that King Solomon would take for his tax. Okay, and it's called talents. And for whatever reason, and there's a lot of explanations as to why that is, this wordplay comes together. It's not called talents of gold for no reason. It's not called the mark of the beast. These people choose, these people choose flesh over spirit, and they do bitch ass shit, you know, like trying to make it harder for me to articulate myself, and then trying to make me feel like it was inappropriate if I cuss. And I reject their mark of the beast, mere human rules, customs, and traditions, their complete lack of understanding why the Jews are rebuked in the Bible. The brood of vipers, wolves, they're called names because they're not the divine order. One of the main morals in the Bible, and people should get burned at the stake for rejecting it, mind you, so to speak, is that the Jews are not chosen. The story is not that the Jews are magically chosen. The story is that they are not chosen. This gets confusing because it's trying to get you to focus on the spirit and not the flesh. And these guys say, my flesh, my flesh. And Jesus talks about their endless genealogy. I'm related to this guy and this guy. I'm related to, Houdini. And they start talking crazy. But I'm related to Herod, and he was a monarch, and you're just a fool in the minds of the historians, right? And they talk crazy. And then Jesus eventually comes and says, look, you people don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you yoke yourself to Romans and you name it, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. So the kingdom of heaven is being taken away from you. Now, it was never really theirs. This is the story that they have told to try to make themselves look good. But they're saying, look, that's symbolic of them having had a chance to have yoked themselves to the Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order. Okay, when Babylon was great before it fell. And they refused to do that. Okay, and then Abraham was trying to do a little something. He wasn't that great. Isaac and Jacob weren't that great. They were trying to do, David was, very feeble-minded, wasn't that great. Okay, and when you really compare him to Nimrod's mighty warrior, conqueror. David is this kind of feeble guy, right? And God's like, look, what the hell do you think? You think he sent grasshoppers to lead the jungle? You think he sent pigs or giraffes? He sent the leopard and the falcon. Okay, these things stick out, right? And there's something to be said about the lion and so on and so forth. Like, what the hell? You think the story ends with the grasshopper being on his chest and saying, yes, the little things confound the great. I mean, only a fucking idiot would think that. So the kingdom of heaven is taken away and given from you and given to who? You think magically given to the arrogant, white elite? I mean, you know how fucking crazy. Yes, King Charles, I'll be accepting that this time tomorrow. Right, fucking retarded. Maybe given to some neo-Nazis and shit, that we were true to the white race, while everyone else sold out to the Jews. Right, fucking retarded. We merged with the militia, that's why we sound that way. I mean, whatever you want to call it. I mean, this is pretty obvious here. Now, ask yourselves this. If they had the basic decency and honor not to interfere with my videos, would I put it this way? No. Is it justice to put it this way after they insult God to the extreme on behalf of their groups with none of them obeying God through me? Yes, 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 and yes. If you don't know that, man, you were born yesterday or something. There's a reason why I say it that way too. Notice all of a sudden when I start talking more like a Westerner or someone, an angry black guy, all of a sudden it's less hard to articulate. And that's that technology that they've been using, that they on record cultivated after World War II, back in 1940, 45, 46, okay? It's been like 80 years. And they're like, oh, 80 years later, we don't have any technology of that nature. Do you? I'll ask the State Department. That's fucking retarded. Anyway, so we'll leave this one there.